guys, Asher Commands Relay and Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. Happy to have you here talking some Raid with me. Today, it's going to be kind of a longer video because we're going to do a detailed, in-depth highlight on my 3 main arena teams. Now, a couple quick notes before we jump into said teams. Number 1 is I need your help. I actually want to destroy, to demolish one of these teams, at least aspects of the team, and I'm going to let you guys vote on not your favorite, but your least favorite of my arena teams. So what I'm going to do is on the community tab poll, I'm going to put the 3 team leaders of each of these teams, and you can vote on your least favorite, and I will get rid of that team, and I'll build a brand new one. Spoiler alert, in case you missed it in yesterday's video, shard opening, I got my hands on one of the best nukers in the game, in the Nutcracker, Jurgid the Breaker. So I actually want to build a brand new team around him, so one of these teams has got to go. You guys can decide. So the other thing is this video is, of course, after 4 years, Valentine's Day at Play Pack, and nah. This is after 4 years of playing the game and, let's be real, spending money on the game as well. I'm far from a free-to-play player, so prepare for, end game builds, to say the least, in today's video. I want to save you guys the aggravation if you're coming here for anything close to free-to-play content. But the good news is I'll be following this video up either tomorrow or the day after with a free-to-play arena video highlighting my free-to-play arena team that really is geared towards speed, farming my great haul as quickly as possible in pretty crappy gear. So be on the lookout for that as well, kind of off balancing, the pay-to-winniness of this video. All right, guys, so the format of the video is going to be, I'm going to reveal one arena team, and I'm going to play a couple matches with the arena team. I'm going to show you the builds of all the champions, and then we're going to move to the next arena team. So let's go ahead and start things out here. We're going to climb to platinum as we do so. Let's start, guys, with, let's just start with this team. This is a team that was up, why not, right? So this team is, as you can see, we have Pythion here on his A1. He's got a heal. On his A2, he's got a cleanse. He's got a heal. And then he's got block debuffs, all in the same ability. He's also the team lead here. So this is Pythion team with resist in all battles by 60. Maybe I should do it by nukers instead, because that's more memorable to me, I think, maybe. So maybe we'll do it by nukers. Maybe this will be the Hephraak team. So Hephraak is our nuker. This team is designed for Hegemon to be not so much of a control champion. He does only have around, I want to say, like 350 accuracy or so. He's there to kind of soften up the enemy team and then to die. A big part of his job on this team is to die, because Hephraak has this really cool ability where, you can see his passive, whenever an ally is killed, he instantly activates this A2, which is his big nuke, right? So obviously this is going to be ideal. Hegemon comes in, he goes first no matter what, because he goes first every turn, and then boom, he either kills or softens up the enemies, and then after that, he dies, right? And then Hephraak goes in, doesn't even matter what his speed is necessarily, because we're just waiting on Hegemon to die. We do have some protection on Hephraak from Nekhret the Great as well. So let's go ahead and jump into this team. We're going against a very, very fast Baron team, and Baron is amazing. Little spoiler alert, little foreshadowing to what's coming later on in the video. Now you will see that I do have a bolster set. Oh my god. He just comes in here and he kills Baron. Well, that's a good start, I would say. That's a good start. Take care of Baron, because Baron's pretty dang scary. You'll notice a couple things here. We have a bolster set on Pythion, right? We also have a stone skin, 2-piece stone skin set on Nekhret the Great. And Hephraak's going to be up pretty soon here. He's actually going to go before Baron goes, because Baron was, well, dead. And you can see how Hephraak is very, very effective. He's not the hardest hitting nuker inside the game, but the reason I'm using Hephraak over other champions like Trunda and Leo on this particular team is because of just the synergy between, again, Hegemon and Hephraak. So that was a really, really fast team. That's an example of going against a go first team. Let's go against a little bit of a tankier team here. And this one is a Nekhret of their own. We have a Mortar Macabre, so annoying. We have Ultimate Death Knight, and we have Duchess. So again, very, very strong team that we're going against, 440k. So safe to say they have some nice resistance as well. Safe to say we'll probably go first here also, because they don't have Duchess in the lead, and she has the speed aura. So here we go, guys. We're going to go in. Again, they have 4 stone skins. Well, that is not ideal, guys. We have to pray that Mortar Macabre does not go get a bunch of perils in a row, because that is the downside of this squad, right? If they kill my man Hephraak on a peril, then we're pretty much screwed. We don't have the DPS, and although we do have a Reviver, if it's Mortu Macabre that we're going against, this is why he's one of the best nukers in the game. I don't have a Mortu Macabre team that I'm going to be highlighting in today's video, guys, but that's primarily because it's not a defense-based team. I do not want to be sitting there for 45 minutes on offense hoping to finally get a Peril proc. But there you go. He dies, and then Nekhret goes, or excuse me, Hephraak goes right in with the attack because, well, somebody died, right? And the good thing is it wasn't a Peril death, so we can revive them and he can die all over again and we can do it again, right? So here we go. They revive their Nekhret. Again, so far, so good on the Perils, but hopefully Hephraak is okay. We're all good. I was going to say hopefully Hephraak is triggered again by his passive there, and it looks like we're almost dead on Hegemon. And how many stone skins do we have up right now? None on the enemy team. So things are looking really good. He's going to die. We're going to go in with the AoE. He has the increased attack that he's bringing. You'll notice there's no increased attack champion on the team with Hephraak. Well, that's because Hephraak has his own increased attack and increased crit damage on his passive. So he self-buffs himself. It's a beautiful kind of standalone nuker if you don't have an increased attack champion on the same team. So again here, we do lose Hegemon thanks to Peril, but we're still looking pretty good here because Hegemon, again, his main usage on a team like this is just to soften up the enemy team, and he did a good job, and then dying, and he did a good job of both of those. So let's see what we can do. Can we get back to the Hephraak Scorn? I think is it the next ability? Does he have it off cooldown right now? I'm not going to put it on auto anymore in this video. We're going to go all manual for the rest of the video, but let's see what we can do here. So we're just going to A1 into Duchess here. And then, okay, so we have it all available. Let's go ahead and self-buff again. Take an extra turn, come in here, and boom, boom, and we don't kill anybody. Again, every turn that goes by without killing anybody is, well, it's not good. It's very bad. Let's go in because, again, of that Peril. We hate Mortu Macabre, man. Hate going against this dude because of that block revive on that really super strong ability. All right, so let's see here, guys. This is a long one. This is a long one. Let's go in with the A2 first. Try to soften up a little bit on Duchess. Not going to do much. And then let's come in with the protection and block debuffs on Hephraak again. And let's keep trying to poke away at their Reviver here. Not really working out that well. And again, we can't revive Hegemon because of the block revival on Peril. So let's see. I think this will be the only, maybe we'll do a quick battle against a quick team here, but, when you go against these super, super tanky Ultimate Death Knight, all four sets of, all four champions in Stone Skin, well, these battles are going to inevitably take a while, right? I used to run one thing you might be surprised at, I'm going to go auto for a minute here. One thing you might be surprised at is I used to run a just all-out speed team, and I'll tell you what, speed is not meta right now. But the more time that goes by in this game, or I should say in this game, but recently I should say in the arena meta, it's just less and less and less effective, right? There's so much Stone Skin out there that truly it's just becoming, my win percentage when I go first team just kept going down and down and down. Didn't drastically drop down, especially on offense. You shouldn't be losing a lot of battles anytime on offense unless you're just mindlessly going into it because, well, you can choose your opponent, right? You have a massive advantage in this game by being on offense versus defense. But even with that said, I started losing a lot more matches. So for that reason, it's not like, they're technically, I guess, all go second teams, but they also have all of them have a lot of like bang to them in terms of, they pack a punch in terms of the nukage options. So again here, we're looking pretty good. And the nice thing is a champion like Hephraak is going to be really good against a team like this because with the ally protect on him, Peril's not usually one-shotting him, as you just saw there, although it was very perilous, forgive the pun. That was very close at the end there, but we do walk away with a victory against a super, super tanky team. Let's go against another speed team here, guys, and then I'll show you the builds, and we'll switch the squad up, okay? Because we got a lot to talk about still in the video. And this I'm wondering, I'm kind of curious on who you think is going to be, or who you guys say, excuse me, is going to be the worst team out of all these squads. So again, Leo's going to come in with a hard-hitting nuke, but because of that bolster set, no one's going to die except for the dude that we want to die. And that's exactly what happened there. Of course, Leo does have the unkillable, but see how healthy Hephraak is? It's great. They do have Lydia on the team. She does, you know, cancel our revive, but it doesn't matter. We end everything because he gets to go back to back with that AoE. So really, really strong team here. You guys kind of saw how it worked. A little bit better examples on those faster battles against those faster teams. Did take a little bit, you know, RNG with Morton Macabre, and it did take a little bit while longer to complete that battle, but we still walked away with a victory. So let's go ahead and see the gear and see how all these champions are built, starting with Nekhret the Great. So this dude is an absolute monster of a tank. He has a lot of defense, decent amount of HP too. 71k, 6200 on the defense. Outside of Valkyrie, you know, which I don't even use right now in the arena, although I'm kind of itching to build a Valkyrie team. He's the highest defense on my account, I want to say, with this defense. Other than that, he does have a lot of resist. So again, resist, defense, a little bit of HP, and that's basically all my priorities here. Now, you will see he is in a 6-piece stone skin set, which helps out tremendously, and for that reason, we don't care that his speed is not that fast either, right? So he does have defense on the boots, did get a speed roll as an ascension stat. Again, we kind of want him to keep that stone skin on. That's why on this team, I'm going to show you the presets too. We're actually leading in with the A3 instead of the A2 because we do not want to get an extra turn because we don't want that stone skin to fall off of him, okay? So again, he has defense on the boots with speed. He has defense with HP on this chest. Man, what a great chess piece, huh? 20% HP, 60% defense, a little bit of speed, a little bit of HP, a little bit of accuracy as well. We have defense percentage. We did get crit rate as an ascension stat there, so probably worth maxing that out eventually here. I just don't have enough oil right now. But we get a trip speed roll. Again, it's kind of unorthodox. I'm looking at this. I just don't have many defense percentage on my gauntlets there available in stone skin because it's not really ideal to have, again, a speed and attack on this particular build, but you know, we're still using it because we like that extra defense. Other than that, we're looking for resist in the substats, so a double resist there, a single resist here, and more resist on the weapon. We have, you guessed it, resist on the banner with more defense and more HP. Really nice banner here. And then we have defense with accuracy resist. Mainly the resist, again, is going to be the main feature there. 39 extra resist from that amulet. And then, of course, HP with a trip roll defense. You don't want to just totally ignore HP on your tanks. You don't want to just totally ignore defense, obviously, on your tanks either. There's champions out there that can ignore 100% of defense, like the Nutcrackers. You have to be careful of just laying or too much on the line in terms of going all-out defense and then being vulnerable to having no HP. In terms of the masteries on this Nekhret, we have Unshakable is our tier 6 mastery, getting that 50 extra resist. Again, he does have a 2-piece stone skin, so we don't want that to be removed. So having nice resist is nice, and then after stone skin wears off, having high resist is useful as well, right? So you can see, you know, I'm going to point out a few of my favorite masteries. Shadow Heal, I love. Heals a shim by 6% of their max HP. Each time an enemy is healed, occurs once per turn. That's great, just extra heals, especially because we don't have a lot of healage on our team, right? We have Pythion, who has some healage, which is nice. That's about it. So it's nice to have that heal kind of built in just from the masteries. I think that Resurgent is one of the better masteries out there, removing a debuff from this champion if they lose 25% or more of their HP, not necessarily happening to Nekhret that much because he has so much defense and HP and stone skin, but still a nice mastery to point out. He has a triple hitter on his A1, so Retribution does serve utility in other areas outside just the arena for me. And on the support tree, I went with max HP, I went with shield. Nekhret has a great shield on his passive. It synergizes with his ally protect, so that was really nice. For that reason, we also picked up Healing Saver, increased the value of shield buffs this champion cast by 10% if the ally has 40% HP or less. And then we went down for Lasting Gifts, which is really important because he's throwing out a ton of buffs, and some of them are on nice long durations, others are not, so it's nice to have that really across the board, that chance of getting an extra 30% chance of getting an extra turn on the buffs that he's bringing to the table. Next up is going to be Hegemon. Hegemon, as I mentioned earlier, guys, is in a nuke build. We're sacrificing a lot of accuracy on this Nukemon build, right? So you can see total stats. First thing you might notice is he's going to be the only quasi-nuker in this video, hopefully, that is not at 100% crit rate, so shame on me. But he does have a nice, healthy attack. That's because we have attack percentage on his boots. And again, we sacrificed quite a bit on the accuracy. 327, though, and this is, I used to have him at around 500 or 600 accuracy on my Hegemon, still with a decent nukage build, not quite this high, not quite this high on attack either, but I found that, You know what? With all the stone skin and stuff going around right now, I found that Hegemon was best on a team like this, along with Hephraak, because a lot of teams were either landing the block active skills from his go first move against like faster teams. We're gonna land it with 327 accuracy. But if there's other teams, you know, with block debuffs that are super fast, or of course with stone skin, we're not going to land it no matter what anyway. So going down from 500 to 300 on the accuracy actually did not have that big of an impact, especially given the team that we're using him on. So again, he's in Savage with Perception. We have probably, let's see, what do we keep? No, we want attack even on the banner. We have crit damage with some accuracy on the amulet. We have attack on the ring. We have attack percentage on the boots. We have attack percentage with accuracy on the chest. Nice chest piece here. And then we have crit damage on the gauntlets. Again, looking for crit rate, looking for some accuracy on our substats, crit damage as well. If I had to critique this build a little bit, again, I would sacrifice maybe some of that attack if I could get some more crit damage on this champion. He doesn't have my best gear, and he's probably one of the least min-max champions that we'll be seeing today, but still, he has, you can see, Helm Smasher, excuse me, to really maximize, again, that damage. You saw that on display on those 3 matches, especially against those squishier teams, right? So this is the Hegemon build that we have. We did pick up the earlier accuracy masteries, and just to kind of go over them, we went with, you know, Ruthless Ambush, Bring It Down, all of my favorite arena nuker masteries in the game on this Nukemon build. So I'm really a big fan of this build, again, given the team. Next up is going to be Hephraak. You can see his masteries right there, excuse me. Again, Bring It Down, right? You're going to see Deadly Precision. We're going to pick up that crit rate, that Keen Strike, that crit damage, Ruthless Ambush, of course, Shield Breaker as well. All the quintessential masteries for an arena nuker. And then we go down, we pick up Helm Smasher as well. We also went with the defensive tree, getting a little bit of retribution for that chance of a counterattack. So Hephraak also built in a very nuke build. We'll go through it really quickly here. On the banner, we have attack, some speed as well. We have crit damage with a trip attack flat stat. We'll take it. We're trying to maximize this dude's nukes, right? And then we have attack again with a double roll on the ring. We have a savage and speed set on this champion. Speed set, yeah. Okay, sure. not mandatory, certainly, on this build, but we'll take a little bit of extra speed where we can get it because it's not that fast anyway. Attack percentage, crit damage, again, on the chest and gauntlets, respectively. We do have attack percentage on the boots, which is why he's not very fast. So getting that extra attack is always nice. I prefer, at this point, especially on Go Second teams, well, obviously on Go Second teams, I prefer basically to have all my nukers now in attack percentage on their boots rather than speed. It used to be like every nuker in the arena went speed when speed was meta. You almost had to, but now I feel like you can get away with attack percentage on most of your nukers' boots now to really ramp that up as well. So again, you guys can see the rest of the stats. Because of that, we actually did be on the lookout for some speed gear, some substats, so he's not super slow. But again, 6k on the attack, 100, 248. Again, if I had to be critical of this build, I would say the attack is fine. The attack and speed, excuse me, and crit rate are all fine, but the crit damage at 248 isn't super ideal. And I lied earlier. I said he has increased crit damage. He has increased crit rate and increased attack in his kit. Now, you can make the argument, Ash, if he has increased crit rate, why are you running him at 102 crit rate? Well, who cares, right? He has 30% increased crit rate on his A3 ability. Well, unfortunately, we do need to have 100% crit rate on this champion because when the Hegemon dies, we do want that nuke to be hitting at 100% clip on that A2, and at that point, he may not have had the opportunity to self-buff himself yet, okay? So that is the Hephraak build. Let's go over to Pythion. Pythion, we have in a bolster set and a 2-piece stone skin. Bolster is a protected ally shield for 3 turns and heals the wearer by 10% each turn on top of that. So considering we have in a bolster set, we don't have a ton of HP on him, but really, to me, having that extra 25k or so shield protected at the beginning of each round is really valuable. Even, 25k, 30k, 35k, all of it's great, but just that shield that can't be removed, 80k is still fine to get value from it. 211 speed, 536, so high resist build on Pythion. He is also our aura lead, so we pick up an extra 60 resist there as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any blessings on him. I should have mentioned I do have Soul Reap on Hegemon, Soul Reap again on Hephraak, and on Nekhret, I have Temporal Chains. We're actually going to change that. we need somebody on this team. At least I like to have somebody on my team, even though it's only a 1-star ascension on this champion. I do like to have somebody with intimidating presence, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that up instead. And again, it's only 1 star, so it's not that dramatic of a change, certainly. And then back to Pythion, again, bolster. With a lot of resist. Again, he has a stone skin, but it's only a 2-piece, so we're not getting that stone skin benefit. So having him resist debuffs is going to be huge because he does have a cleanse. Cleansers on your arena teams, you want them to ideally have, you know, immunity, high resist, stone skin, some way to prevent the other team from, well, CCing your cleanser on your team. So we want him to go as quickly as possible. You know, he doesn't have crazy speed. We're going to see a much higher speed later on in the video, but that block debuffs is going to be equally as important, right? This ability, Shed Skin, is super powerful. He does have the allies receive 5% less damage from skills for each buff on them, stacks up to 25%. So especially my squishier champion, Hephraak, who we don't want to die. We have Hegemon, but we do want him to die. He's going to be starting out with all Nekret's buffs, so he's basically going to be getting like 20% damage mitigation when you include bolster as well, right out the gate from the overlay passive, which is really, really nice. So that is the Pythion build. We do have a defense, HP percentage, excuse me, on the gauntlets. We have resist on the chest. We have speed on the boots, because again, we do want him to go semi-fast to be able to cleanse everybody else. We have resist on the banner, and we have HP, and we have HP again on the ring and the amulet there. Of course, reaction, 25% to change a critical hit into a normal hit when attacked before first turn is really handy on all champions on a go second team for obvious reasons. So I wish we had more of that gear on this particular champion, but hey, I'll take what I can get, right? It does stack having multiple pieces of reaction gear on the same champion. So let's go ahead and, did I show masteries yet? I didn't. We went down the right-hand side, picked up all the resistance masteries, and I ended with Unshakable. On the support tree, kind of the same deal, guys. Went Steadfast, getting that HP, and then went with all the healing masteries, landing at Lasting Gifts, having a chance at extending the duration of buffs, primarily, obviously, block debuffs, although he does have a Strengthen on his Revival on his A3 as well. Pythion's such a good champion. Really cool addition to the game. Let's go into team number 2. Man, okay, what is this one? Nah. Come on, player. Stop ruining my video with your offers, dude. All right, here we go. Let's refresh, get a clean slate here. Let's start from the beginning, and let's switch our teams to team number 2. So this is the team that I was running as my speed team. And nothing wrong with this team, really strong squad, right? But I've just, it's fallen off of my tag team teams. Sometimes it's effective, sometimes it's not. This is team number 2, guys. It is going to be the Siphi and the Rotos, Mighty Uko, and Warlord on the squad. So let's go ahead and jump into it here. You can see their masteries, or excuse me, their blessings already. Let's just go right into the first battle. It's kind of an easier team. We'll try to pick a more challenging one after this one, but I just want to kind of show you how the team works. Going to zoom out here. You can already see we have 1 turn Stone Skin on Mighty Uko, 1 turn Stone Skin on Warlord as well. Going to come in with Siphi. Siphi is built very fast with high resist. Because of that, we had to sacrifice a little bit on her other stats, on her defense and her HP. I'll talk more about that when we get to the build. We're going to come in with Orcish Rituals, but that's why Mighty Uko is so freaking powerful. I'm just going to tell you right out the gate, I believe he has a triple perception set on Mighty Uko. He's not only removing all their buffs, but he's also placing decreased accuracy and block buffs. It's a great way to handicap the other team right out the gate. Such a powerful champion, probably one of the most used champions right now in Platinum Arena. So we're going to go with Orcish Rituals to really CC the enemy team, and then from there on out, I mean, it's over. It's pretty much over. Rotos is just going to start eating them down. Chopping them down. How about that? Eating them down. He's going to start eating away at their HP. There we go. A nice save. Slowly but surely, right? And it might take a little while, but again, I love this team because Warlord can come back in there. He's got heals. He's got it all, right? He's got block debuffs. He's got that control on the A3, not just to put their skills on cooldown, which is obviously incredible ability, but also that turn meter reduction is really just makes him incredible, I also have Yumeko on this account, and we'll talk a little bit more about Yumeko later, but on this team, I really like Warlord, and Warlord is super meta right now. He's really everywhere, but Mighty Uko, goes right back in with that A2 ability. I also want to change. I'm going to go back and show you. This is interesting. On the Rotos build, I think a lot of you guys who have Rotos will really enjoy this too, because I see a lot of people kind of, I don't want to say making a mistake, when building Rotos, but not capturing the full value of Rotos by ignoring his HP. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well when we get to the actual build. We come in here, again, kind of a tankier team, not the best team in the world that we're going against, but they're certainly tanky. So it took us a while to get rid of them, but you can see this team is super, super effective. Let's quickly go ahead and look at the another super slow team. I just want to face someone who's maybe a little bit faster here. Let's just go with this team for in a moment here. But I want to show you, because I forgot to, I want to show you this. There's not much going on here. Pythion, he's obviously going to lead in with a shed skin, so we don't have to do anything there. Nekhret the Great, as I mentioned, we're actually going to go in and open with the Disturbing Infusion, so he doesn't take that extra turn. And then Hephraak, same thing. You don't have to do anything there. Hegemon, same thing. So not much to talk about in terms of team presets. Team presets on this one, obviously, if you're using any Warlord team, you do need to go in and make sure you're prioritizing Orcish Rituals. On Siphi, she's obviously going to go right in with Roland Romance, which is going to give us block debuffs, increased defense, and increased speed with turn meter fill, very strong ability. In Marichka, we have to come in and make sure we're prioritizing his A2, and otherwise he's going to lead in with the A3 and put increased speed on everybody. That's definitely not what we want. So again, we'll call this, I guess, the Rotos team. We'll call it the Rotos team, even though this one actually feel like it's more of a Marichka team. Marichka carries. You can see their total stats here as well. So let's go into the next one here. We do have a speed aura because, again, we built Warlord and Siphi with a decent amount of speed on this squad. So taking a little bit more advantage and getting that nice 20% speed aura boost is desirable on a squad like this, even as compared to going with a Siphi aura, getting that extra resistance. So again, we come in with our Marichka. We actually remove the Stone Skin from Gaius the Gleeful on the enemy team, and that's pretty much it. It's already over, right? It's a very, very, very strong team. He actually goes in with the Marichka with the A2 next. Now, some might argue, and I think I might tend to agree, that perhaps if we were just going to keep it on auto, we go in with the A1 before the A3, because we might need that revival. You know, you never know. But I guess, you know what? I guess I kind of take it back. I like the increased speed since we already have a reviver on the team in Siphi, and it's unlikely we're going to lose everybody, especially after Warlord just neutralized everybody with his A3. So here I am talking it out loud, talking it through out loud to you guys, and I retract my statement. Very, very strong team. Arguably, I don't want to tip the scale in any direction here, but definitely arguably one of my strongest teams. If you're lucky enough to have Siphi the Lost Bride and Rotos on your account, which not many players are, but if you are lucky, you pretty much should be defaultly running them in one of your three tag team arena teams. I can't think of a better, more formidable pair, especially because of Siphi's passive, where she's automatically cleansing Rotos every single time. She's just cleansing him before every turn, so he can't get one shot because of his own passive, and then he can't get CC'd because of Siphi's passive. He can get CC'd, but again, right before his turn, it's going to be cleansed right off of him. And you can see, even on a longer battle like this, I mean, it's not super long. It's a squishy team, but they're kind of annoying. They have, obviously, Ultimate Death Knight, who's basically everywhere as well. Kind of a note about Ultimate Death Knight is I used to run Ultimate Death Knight in the lead of the Pythion team. But then when Pythion came out, I switched because I wanted that reviver, that cleanser, that block debuffs. I thought it was a better fit for that team, and I certainly don't regret that decision. But I did use Ultimate Death Knight just as kind of an annoying tank, right, for a while. All right, so that is, let's do one more battle with this team before we go through all of the artifacts. Okay, some more challenging teams down here, which is great. Let's go against a lot of good options here. Let's go against this team, like a high damage nukage team here, and see how we do. We do have Bolster, but is that going to be enough against Trunda? Trunda's still probably, for me, for my money, still the hardest hitting nuker out there. I don't know. I'll get back to you on how I feel about on how look at he's dead. Forget it. I was gonna say look at Rotos, guys, but look at that. Marichka comes in, removes all those annoying busts from the enemy team. I was gonna say look at the cleanse on Rotos here. I'm actually gonna take it. Okay, that's why we have 2 revivers on the squad. That's how we were two revivers. All right, man. What's his face is so freaking good. For my money, ramen too. And I need to, dude, this is so embarrassing to say. It's so embarrassing, right? But, and I've said this before on the channel, so it's not new news or anything like that. But man, I pulled Arbiter early. And I went, dude, I pulled Arbiter, and then I decided to just throw the Arbiter missions, never pay attention to them ever again. And that was a massive mistake, because now I'm like in the very beginning of the Arbiter mission, so I haven't gotten around to doing Ramen 2, but I need to. It's definitely on the agenda to at least start making some momentum there, right? So again, we go against this squad, we finish it out. You guys can see how effective this team is really against any sort of team that we face, which is why I really love it. And we actually get to Platinum now, so there we go. We're in Platinum. Let's go ahead and take a look at the builds. Starting with Siphi, who is probably, arguably, my strongest champion on my entire account. She's +4. She's insane. The crown jewel, if you will, of the account. 65k, 52k on HP and defense, 329 on speed, and 732 resistance on this absolute behemoth of a Siphi the Lost Bride. So what does she have for artifacts? She has resist on her banner with double speed roll. She has defense with a triple resist on her amulet. She has defense with a max, at least glyph here, 20% defense on the ring. On the gauntlets, she has defense with crit damage, unfortunately, but some resist, a lot of resist, again, on the substats. She has resist with 20% HP on the fully ascended stone skin chest, plus defense percentage, a mythical piece. This is definitely one of my strongest artifacts on my entire account, I would say. And then we have speed with speed on the boot. She has my best gear on my entire account, at least to a large extent on Siphi the Lost Bride. We have another double resist there on the speed. But again, getting that 57 speed from these boots is really incredible. And there's part of a speed set. So we do have that speed set on her to get the extra 12% bonus on top of that. We have a double speed, a double resist there on the shield. And again, a double speed with some resist there on the helmet. And again, a double speed with resist on the weapon. Fully ascended, getting extra defense there as well. Masteries on Siphi. We have Unshakable as a tier 6 option. And again, just kind of hugging the left-hand side. I love to improve parry, decrease the damage received by this champion by 8% when hit with a critical hit. And then, of course, lasting gifts, plus all the healing masteries as well on Siphi. She has a great heal on her passive, which is really nice. Heals each ally by 10% of their max HP at the start of their turn. And again, removes all debuffs from Rotos the Lost Groom at the start of their turn if they're on the same team. So very badass Siphi the Lost Bride. Rotos here we have in a obviously nuker build. He's at 101, 276 on the crit damage with 4,915 on the attack. The attack is fairly low, especially compared to, Hephraak, who we looked at earlier, even Hegemon, right, over 6,000. But look at that HP. His base HP is only 11,895, but his damage scales really nicely off of HP. That does not mean ignore attack. You still need attack too. This is why he can be somewhat of a challenging champion to build, but staggering or scaling up that HP is going to be fantastic, right? So on the Soul Reap ability for Rotos, guys, it's really nice mastery, particularly for him, because not only are we getting the Soul Reap benefits, he is only 2-star ascended, but if we had it max, man, it's insane, because you're actually getting a lot of extra HP, attack, and crit damage, and speed if we go all the way to 6 stars. It's really nice. I mean, if I had a maxed Rotos, boy, he would be hitting extremely hard, even more so than he is now. So for masteries here, guys, we went with a very typical arena build. Again, you guys can see Ruthless Ambush, Bring It Down, Helm Smasher. I'll just pull it up here in case you guys, it's easier for you that way. We went defense tree, although we could go support tree and pick up more HP as well. That extra 810 will definitely help on a Rotos, so it's really up to you guys which one you go to. You can kind of experiment there, but I did want to go down, pick up improved parry, and then have retribution, because A1 is really nice. And getting more A1s and more counterattacks are going to be fantastic. Grants an extra turn if this damage reduction occurs. Keep in mind on Spurn Oblivion, he cannot be one-shot, which is really nice. He has attack on, or HP, excuse me, on the banner. How do we get HP to be so high when it's so low to begin with? It does not scale very well. Well, we went with HP on both the ring and HP on the banner. Getting those flat stats is actually going to be really beneficial on a Rotos. After that, we went with crit damage with extra attack on the gauntlets. We have HP percentage with some defense on the chest piece, although again, you could argue that attack percentage would scale a lot better. I've tried both out. I actually think that HP does a little bit extra damage compared to attack percentage, so I'm going there because I get survivability as well. Why not, right? And then we went speed with attack as just trying to get an extra little boost where I can, right, from the ascension stats. Again, we have defense with HP, so we fully ascended it. We have HP with more HP, so we fully ascended that as well. And we're looking for crit rate, crit damage on this champion as well. So again, that's how we kind of landed at the total stats. Of course, he does have Savage and crit damage. Savage or Lethal and crit damage are really my favorite sets for a nuker, right, to kind of go with that combo. We have Warlord here, guys. He's in a 4-piece Stone Skin, giving him 1 turn of Stone Skin at the start of each round. You can see his total stats here are 650 on the accuracy, 247 on the speed. He has a decent amount of defense, 3,700, decent amount of HP, maybe a little bit low at 5,200. But again, we're really trying to maximize his survivability with the Stone Skin, at least for a little bit, and then really trying to go ham on the accuracy to land his abilities from his Orcish Ritual. 100% chance of each target skills on cooldown, and then a 70% chance of fully depleting each target's turn meters. That is incredible. The heal that is, or excuse me, the shield that he's pulling off is going to be based on this champion's max HP, but his heal is based on their max HP. So again, his HP could stand to be a little bit better here, but you sometimes can't have everything on every champion. We have speed with accuracy on his boots. We have accuracy main stat as his chest. We have defense with a little bit of HP, a little bit of speed on the substats there, on the ascension and substats, I should say. And then again, we're looking for accuracy as much as we can get of it. We have a trip roll of accuracy here on the Stone Skin helmet, and again, some speed accuracy on the weapon. Obviously accuracy on the banner as well, and then we have HP with a trip accuracy on the amulet, and then some defense on the ring. We do have the reaction ring, but you guys notice that it's attack? I'm not sure if that's what we want. I'm not sure. How did you sneak that on there, Warlord? Let's go ahead and change this in real time. I'd rather have this. I'll show you it right now. Let's just steal it. Steal it from Raka. So this is much better. Now we get the extra HP, we get the defense there, and HP as well. That defense is really, really nice, getting 24%. So that's actually going to bring his HP up to 56k, much better. And we get a little bit extra defense as well. We do not need the attack ring, even though it is a reaction on Warlord. So his power is very low because his resist is fairly low compared to other champions that we spotlight today. But, you know, Warlord's just a beast. We have Eagle Eye as his tier 6 mastery, obviously really maximizing the accuracy on this champion. And then we picked up Healing Saver, a little bit extra heal when we need it the most, right? But other than that, pretty standard build here. Improved parry again. It's what I really like for Arena on Go Second teams. Mitigating that first hit there by 8%. Excuse me, all hits, as long as they're critical, by 8%, which is really, really handy. We also have Solidarity, increased ally resistance by 5 for each buff placed on them by this champion. Sure, we'll take it. And Cycle of Revenge, excuse me, mitigating damage over time. So that's the Warlord build. And then, of course, Mighty Uko. Same thing as Warlord. We have a 4-piece Stone Skin. Then we have Perception on him as well. We really want to maximize that accuracy to get real value out of that A2 ability. 610 on the resist, 272 on the speed. So he's going first on this team, which is most important. He's going to kind of set the table, remove all those buffs, get a chance at removing those Stone Skins, and then, well, the rest is history, right? Then Warlord goes and the rest of the team. So you'll notice the speed tuning of this team is Siphi. Did I say that Mighty Uko's going first? Not exactly. Siphi's going first, getting that turn meter boost, getting all those, block debuffs, etc. Then Mighty Uko sets the table for Warlord and for Rotos to come in there and not have to deal with any buffs on the enemy team. Mighty Uko, again, another reviver. I really like that combo. Having 2 really strong revivers can be super annoying for the enemy team. And again, with Mighty Uko, similar to Warlord, we came down here, we grabbed Eagle Eye for maximizing the accuracy on this champion. You'll see that I picked up Lore of Steel there. Even though it's not that much of a bonus off of a 2-piece or one 2-piece perception set on this champion, I'd still like to go with it. He has an AoE on the A1, so I like Retribution on this champion as well. So that is the build on Mighty Uko. Let me quickly run you through his artifacts here. We have accuracy on the banner. We have crit damage with a trip accuracy on the reaction amulet. So crit damage, not ideal, but I really wanted all that accuracy. And again, having reaction, I think in this case, is probably worth it. This is actually a holdover. I used to run Mighty Uko in a Relentless build with a lot of crit rate and a lot of crit damage for Hydra Clan Boss, but I've since moved him onto, one of my main arena teams. So this is kind of a holdover, a hand-me-down, if you will, from that old build. So I'm not sure I love crit damage or sacrificing, quite a bit of HP and defense, but still, I do love that accuracy on there and get a little bit of defense on the substats. So we have HP with more HP as well on the ring. On his artifacts here, we have speed on the boots with speed. Ascension, we have accuracy with a little bit of defense on the chest. We have HP with speed. Again, I'm looking for speed and accuracy on substats here. Hey, let's glyph this out. Get a little bit of HP, get a little bit of accuracy. We'll take it. I'm not going to use a 6-star speed glyph. We're saving this for something really special, guys. All right, so that helps out, helps out a little bit here, but you guys can kind of see what I'm going for. I do need to glyph a lot of this out, actually, so we can make him even a little bit stronger. A lot of the champions that you'll see on these teams, especially the next one I want to say, are super min-maxed, and some of them that are kind of recent additions, like Pythion, like Mighty Uko to these teams, I have not gone in there and really min-maxed all of their artifacts yet. It's kind of a work in progress, which is why I love this game. Okay, so that's Mighty Uko. I think I showed you everything on Mighty Uko, and let's go to the next one. Let's go to the last team, guys. All right, guys, here we go with team number 3 here in Platinum Arena. So I'm just going to start out just to show you what the team is like against this team. A little bit of an easier squad compared to some of the others. We'll get more difficult as we scale here. This is a Duchess, Nekhret, Marichka the Unbreakable, and Baron. Now, I love Baron. I used to run Mithrala where Nekhret was, but then I pulled another Nekhret, and instead of empowering my other Nekhret, I decided to build another one because he's so freaking good, and he allows me, instead of having to use a defense-based nuker or an HP-based nuker, I don't have like Taurus, which would be incredible in this role. I'm using Baron because A, I love him, but he's a little squishy, a little fragile. He has no unkillable. I have to use a champion like Leo, someone who can protect themselves, right, in this role. Maybe in a Candrafon with his veil, right? But I'm able to use Baron. I guess I'm technically allowed to use whoever I want. I use Baron because he has a 50% ignore defense on his Sky Piercer, ignore block damage, ignore shield as well, and then of course we have Helm Smasher, and then we have Savage and or Lethal Gear. So that's going to give us a chance at 100% ignore defense. That is incredible. So he's one of my favorite nukers in the entire game, especially against a team that we're running no debuffers on our squad, right? So there's no decreased defense, no weakened champion on this team, but he has enough attack, especially with the increased attack placed by Duchess, and ignore 100% defense. He's able to get the job done anyway. Let's go ahead and watch it in action. As I mentioned, I ran Mithrala where Nekhret was. I love Mithrala, man. I need to find an excuse to use Mithrala on my Nutcracker team. So whatever team we're replacing in this video, we're going to go ahead and get Mithrala in there. She's too good not to use. Anyway, here comes the enemy team. They're not doing anything against me. We're going to see Sky Piercer in action. It's going to be, well, it's going to hurt. Here it goes. Boom. Dead, everybody. Barely even got to see those numbers there. To be fair, though, that was an easier team. Let's keep making our way down here. So this next squad, again, a more to macabre, but we're really, really robust in terms of our damage. And the nice thing is, too, is we have 2 revivers on this team. We have Duchess, obviously, with her great revive on her A3 ability, but then we have Marichka the Unbreakable with her revive on her passive. When she dies, she revives everybody else on the team. Of course, against more to macabre, you could argue that's not going to be the most helpful. We do take down Mithrala there, but they do have a reviver on the team, so not the end of the world. But again, you're going to see the Righteous Charge ability. Check this out on his next turn. This is particularly why I absolutely love, and you can see we ignored the shield too. We almost killed the reviver. This is why I absolutely love this. I'm going to turn meter fill, and then Righteous Charge. This is why I love Baron, right? His A3 ability. Attacks one enemy. Damage increases according to the number of buffs on this champion. Well, guys, we have 7 freaking buffs on this champion. That is a massive, massive amount of damage. We could probably easily kill her with the A2, but I just want to show off the A3. Boom, 150k damage. So that's another reason I love having Baron on a go second team, because his damage scales so well with all those extra buffs on the enemy squad. We're going to ally attack and kill Lydia now. Now we just got to worry about that peril. The downside to this squad, I'm going to be real with you guys. Can make a case, I think, for all these teams being my strongest team. But against more two macabre teams, I have to be real with you guys. I do get a little bit scared because if we lose Baron, this is why we had to put Nekhret on this team, right? If we lose Baron, we're so screwed on this team. No one else can do damage at all. So if Peril procs on Baron and he does enough damage to, you know, to bleed through the ally protect and the increased defense and the protected strength and everything else that we have on this team, that's why we have such a robust list of buffs. Well, then see, that could happen. And we'd be in big, big trouble, but it's not the case. We pull off the victory. Let's keep going down the line here, guys. Another very tanky team with a Rotos, the Lost Groom, 464 player power. No doubt a bunch of resistance on this team. They also have Ultimate Death Knight. Oh, you're annoying, Ultimate Death Knight, but I like having that Void Affinity Nuker. I don't have to worry about it that much. All right, so again, we're going to come in here. Who's going to go first? Stone Skin, Stone Skin, Stone Skin. They have 3 Stone Skins. We don't like that. We get the 7 round of Ally Protect because of the Lasting Gifts Mastery on Nekhret the Great. We're going to go ahead and, well, let's just go ahead and put the A2, which is going to be that heal, and the Protected Strengthen. Can't be removed. Again, going in with Skypiercer right now against this would make no sense in the world. We are not ignoring Stone Skin, and we're going against 3 Stone Skins and a buffed up Rotos. So instead, I'm actually just going to go ahead and burn an A1 against Ultimate Death Knight because it's going to be rerouted there anyway. So now we can just chill and wait for Stone Skin to fall off, everybody. Pythion's is gone, but that's not going to be enough. We do have 2 rounds of Stone Skin on Nekhret the Great, so instead of going in with the A2 and taking an additional turn, as I mentioned, we just want to go ahead and go with the A1 or A3. Sorry, Disturbing Infusion. So again, look at all these buffs. That's going to be a big, big righteous charge for you, Mr. Ultimate Death Knight, eventually. But we're still going against these slow builds. 1 turn here, 1 turn here. I can potentially kill the nuker, but he is under the Ally Protect. So I think I actually want to just keep chilling and then just go right back into Ultimate Death Knight and save all my best abilities, right? Sometimes burning your ability when you know it's not going to result in anything good, sometimes, you know, you just got to be patient. Wait for the Stone Skin to run off, especially when you're going against this annoying dude, right? So let's go ahead and, I don't know, let's chip away a little bit here at the Reviver. Didn't do much, right? But get an extra turn. Again, just go into Pythion here. Let's go turn meter boost on the A3. That is a cleanse. And still, we have Stone Skin, and honestly, guys, I'm going to have to do the same thing again. Again, the reason I'm not going against anybody else with Righteous Charge or anything like that, despite all the buffs on these champions, is simply because it's going to be rerouted to Ultimate Death Knight. Finally, Ultimate Death Knight's Stone Skin falls off in this super, super slow build. So annoying to go against, but Nekhret the Great is also clear, which is going to be fantastic. So now we can go in with the A2, get extra buffs on him. Fantastic stuff. How many times am I going to say fantastic, huh? All right, so we're going to go, now we can actually just go right in with the A2 and Ultimate Death Knight, do some nice damage there. At least we'll kill UDK. However, what we really want to do is, we have 4 turns. Let's go ahead and put it over here. What we really want to do is kill Pythion, kill the Reviver. But let's see what we can do here with Skypiercer. Obviously, we won't do anything against Rotos because he can't get one shot. But the rest of the team, let's see. Boom. And again, we don't kill the Reviver. We do kill Nekhret, and we do kill the, with all that Ally Protect damage, and we do kill Ultimate Death Knight. Again, though, he's going to be able to revive them right back up right now. But that's, after that revival is done, that's where we're going to go ahead and finally be able to take the lead and finish them off. Even though we lose our Reviver and Duchess, again, it's really not the end of the world. We're going to go ahead and take down Pythion once and for good here with Righteous Charge. Actually, Ultimate Death Knight, it was rerouted. Now we're going to go into Pythion. He does not have his revival off cooldown right now, or it is off cooldown, excuse me, so we're going to be fine. And let's just keep... One ally will randomly join in on the attack of Marichka, the Unbreakable. So we got lucky there. It was Baron, not Nekhret, and we were able to finish him off. Let's go ahead and guaranteed decreased defense on the A2. It's a nice to have. A little bit better than PvP than PvE content, but either way, let's go ahead and put that strengthen on. Make sure that Rotos can't kill anybody. Let's go ahead and A1 or A3. A2. Jeez, Ash. Man, the video's falling apart here at the end. Let's just go ahead and attack. Hopefully we can kill him. And we don't. But, ooh! He does kill our Rotos, but again, it's really not that big of a deal because we do have the, if, for example, Rotos like went ham right now and killed both these champions, everybody would be revived because of the passive of Marichka, which is, again, why she's so insanely good inside the arena. Let's do one more before I show you the builds here and let you guys go. We're going to go against a Siphi Rotos team with Valkyrie. Might as well, right? Valkyrie's another champion I'm itching to use on one of my main teams. So maybe Mithrala, Valkyrie. I don't know. I'll let you know. Whatever team I do end up choosing, though, I'll let you know who it is. So Rotos comes in. We basically withstand the initial onslaught here of the enemy team. We're going to come in here with the A2, get everybody nice and protected. And then we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to use the cleanse ability here, the A3 of Marichka, and get that turn meter fill, and more importantly, get that sleep off of our man Baron. So now let's come in, ally protect. Let's ally protect Marichka. Big hits there from Valkyrie. They have a massive shield, but keep in mind, we're ignoring shield with Skypiercer. Let's see if we can kill anybody here. Well, we certainly do, don't we? We kill everybody except for Rotos, who cannot be one-shot, so there it is. And that's the power of Baron. That's why we like Baron so much, right? And we're, this is a strong team, certainly. But you can see very robust. And again, I know I mentioned it a few times, but if Marichka died, if things did look really bad, everybody would be revived on our side of the arena again. So that's the beautiful thing, is going against a Valkyrie team with that massive shield doesn't even matter because we're ignoring it along with block damage. Let's go ahead and look at the builds on all these champions. Okay, guys, starting out with Baron here. So Baron is definitely my most extreme nuker build on the account. We have him in lethal and in perception. Perception not helping him at all because you can see he's got the surplus damage here. He's got the decreased defense, but it's a guaranteed debuff, so we don't need accuracy to land it. However, I do get the extra speed, a little bit of a bonus, right, on the perception gear, and I really just wanted to get these gauntlets on him. Crit damage with attack percentage as an ascension, fully ascended with crit rate, some speed as well. I just had to have these gauntlets on this champion, probably some of my best on the account, and his attack percentage boots as well with crit rate. We get attack percentage with more attack percentage on the chest. We have attack as an ascension stat, with more crit rate, more crit damage, and you guys can see the rest here. Now, his attack, we also have attack on the banner, obviously. We have crit damage with attack as a substat on the amulet, and then attack trip roll on the ring as well. That's going to give us a whopping 7,729 attack, plus the increased attack buff that we're getting from Duchess is going to put him well over 10,000 attack, which is nice to have. It's awesome. It's cool. But we'd rather have the crit damage be like 320, 330, 300, higher. So what I would love to do eventually is sacrifice some of this attack and get crit damage set instead of a perception set as the last artifacts on this champion. It's not ideal to have the attack this high when crit damage is this comparably low, because again, after around 6,000 attack, you're really yielding mitigated returns from the attack stat. Again, crit damage will scale much better, but still, we're not going to complain about over 10k attack on this champion by the time that he starts attacking somebody. Anyway, 100% ignore defense potential on the A3 or A4, we already talked about that. We talked about his abilities. We have Soul Reap on him as a blessing, and then masteries again. All our favorite nuker builds. One thing I wanted to point out is here we have Shield Breaker. We're ignoring Shield on the Skypiercer. Increased damage inflicted to targets under shield bust by 25%. It's still going to increase the damage because they're still under shields. It's not increasing the damage on the shield, it's increasing the damage on the target under the shield, right? So it still synergizes really nicely with the Skypiercer ability. Ruthless Ambush, bring it down, go down to Helm Smasher as well. Retribution on the counterattack, same thing with deterrence on our Baron. Next up is going to be our Duchess. Duchess we have in a 6-piece stone skin set. We have 5,000 on the defense, 73k on the HP, 273, so she's pretty fast. And then we have 532 on the resist. We have resist on the chest. I thought we might have with that high of a resist. We have defense on the chest. We have resist certainly on the banner. And then let's see what we have. Speed on the boots. Speed with some defense on the boots. And then we have HP on the HP percentage, excuse me, on the gauntlets. And then on the amulet, we have defense with some resist. And then we have defense with more defense on the ring. So I'm pretty happy with this build on our Duchess. Again, we really looked out for speed and resistance on this champion. Got an extra defense flat stat too on that shield from Stone Skin. Obviously, really trying to min-max champions like Duchess. You can tell the champions that have a lot of ascension on. Other champions I'm really trying to put a lot of time and energy, both figuratively and literally in the game, into in terms of getting their artifacts ascended before some of my other PvE champions, most of whom I don't have fully ascended like I do on these champions. So defense, we went down. We picked up Unshakable, again, helping us to get that extra defense. Because she's in Stone Skin, Selfless Defender is an amazing mastery to pick up. Any champion that's going to be under Stone Skin, they're not going to be receiving much damage anyway. Decrease the damage an ally receives from the first enemy hit by 20%. This champion will receive that damage instead. Well, the damage is going to be blocked by Stone Skin anyway, so Selfless Defender is going to be incredible to have on, again, Stone Skin support champions. We came down the support tree, ended with Lasting Gifts, basically going to be imperative on a champion like Duchess. Again, she's bringing that damage mitigation on the passive. She has it with Selfless Defender as well. She also has improved parry, mitigating another 8% of damage on critical hits. Let's go to Marichka, the Unbreakable. For a blessing, we have Intimidating Presence. That's going to go ahead and give us 400 extra defense and strengthen my team's aura by 7.5, weaken enemy team's aura by 10%. Nice to have on every team if you can get a champion with it. She has the Cleanse, Turn Meter Fill, increased resistance on the A3. She's got the Protected Strength we talked about on the A2. Heals by 40% of this champion's max HP, one of the strongest heals in the game, certainly based on percentage. And then she has that Revival. Revives all dead allies 50% HP and 75% turn meter whenever this champion is killed. That is insane. 75 turn meter. That's a money ability. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, which is great to have as well. Active effect is that block damage that we spoke about. So very, very good champion. We have tier 6 is going to be Unshakable on her. We come down Lasting Gifts. Of course, all the healing masteries. What was it? 51 and change, 51,000 heal on that A2. Really, really nice with the Protected Strength and the shield too. So very, very incredible champion here. We have 100k on the HP, 3,600 on the defense, 187 on the speed, and 589 on the resist. So high resist as well on this champion. We have resist. Do we have HP or resist? We have resist on the banner. HP is everywhere else, right? HP with a trip roll on the ring. We have, let's see these boots, man. We have a lot of ascended gear. The most ascended gear on any champion, I want to say, probably on this Marichka build. HP percentage with defense percentage. Really, really good Stone Skin with the resist too, boots. And then we have resist with more HP percentage with HP percentage. So getting 100k HP for that great heal and that great shield, and then also having that much resist is really, really crucial to this build. Again, HP with more HP, a trip resist roll here on these gauntlets. And then we have bolster, as I mentioned, bolster set on this. So we have, what do we have? What do we have here for gear? We have 1 Stone Skin, 8% HP. The best one-piece set in the game, ladies and gentlemen, right? And then on the weapon here, we have a attack with defense to resist here as well. So really, really strong build here on Marichka, the Unbreakable. And then last but not least, we have Nekhret the Great number 2. He's not as strong as the other Nekhret. Doesn't have 6,200, 6,300 on the defense, 5,400, 69k on the HP, but he does have 603 resist. So really high resist on Nekhret, on Marichka, and on Duchess on this team, which is nice to have. And then again, very slow Nekhret, very, very slow. That's going to give him the ability to retain that ally protect even longer. And with the Stone Skin, he's not going to be taking any damage. So he has, very probably similar to the other Nekhret in some ways, resist on the banner, defense, more defense, HP, excuse me, on the gauntlets, resistance and defense on the boots here. So masteries on Nekhret, guys, similar to what we've seen here before. We have a Resurgent, we have Unshakable for the extra resistance. We come down here, we pick up the extra support masteries along with the HP as well, and that is our Nekhret the Great. We have him in temporal chains, and I think that's going to be the squad, guys. What do you think of my 3 arena teams? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching all the way till the end. I really appreciate you guys who hung in there the entire video, unedited at that, so it might not be the most entertaining watch, but I had a lot of fun reviewing my arena teams with you guys. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.